Hey, morning. Welcome back. How's it going today? Today we're going to do a little bit different here. I'm just going to talk to you guys here. We're going to a job site to look at an electrical job for the electrical department here. But I figured we're getting some more views here. Happy how it's growing, positive comments, everything's going good. So I guess I just want to introduce myself to everybody here. My name's Blaine Thompson. I started Tier Systems with my wife back in 2019. And that's where our journey began. But way back when, I want to give some insight on, why we got the name, why we chose the name we got, and some other back history of my family and why I am where I am today. It started way back in basically the 60s. My grandpa was a licensed electrician, and he started a company. Its name was R&D Thompson Electric. So he had a partner, and it was just a small electrical company. They did a lot of work around Tillsonburg area. They did a lot of commercial industrial electrical. A lot of the buildings had been wired or touched by my family business, a lot more than I know of, that had been wired by my family, grandpa, uncle, cousin, anybody that was in and a part of this business. So that was that in the 60s. They ran it for a while. It was my grandpa and a partner. Then it became my grandpa and my uncle Bob. And then that turned into my grandpa, my uncle, and my cousin. And then in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, my dad got a job in St. Catharines. My mom was going to school. He was working there, and he ended up getting in with a HVAC contractor. And he started his 313A ticket. He'd already challenged his electrical and got it. So he wanted to venture out and try refrigeration and HVAC and all the other sorts that come with the 313A. So he did that. And then basically mid-90s, he came back to Tillsonburg, and he joined the family business. And then the family business from R&D Thompson Electric became R&D Thompson Electric and Refrigeration. That ran successful for a while. When my dad came back later on, he then bought into the company, and then it became my dad and uncle, so he bought it, my grandpa. And then fast forward a couple more years, they had a couple more guys. I think the biggest that, between my grandpa, my uncle, and my dad, I think they got it to 6 to 9 guys or somewhere around there. And basically electrician and HVAC. They did a lot of industrial and heavier residential wiring in the 60s to the 80s, and then that got into a bunch of residential here and there. And so anyways, that ran on, and then so with it being Thompson Electric and Refrigeration, it then became, Dad abbreviated it, so it became Tier Systems, but Tier Systems stands for Thompson Electric and Refrigeration, and then they just basically added systems on the end. So anyways, that ran successful for some times into the 2000s. In the 2000s eras, early 2000s, my brother got sick. He got cancer. Then my dad and mom decided to close up the business. Dad got a job for one of his old buddies from trade school. And so then he started working in the mid 2000s for Ken Robinson Refrigeration. And then I would say later, like basically 08 to 09 is somewhere when I started with Ken Robinson Refrigeration. Worked there for 4 or 5 years. I don't think I finished my 313A. I just got like a majority of my apprenticeship done. Seen some big things. We only did big industrial at Robinson's. We did a lot of the automotive plants around Stratford. We did a bunch of big automotive and fabricating plants in London. And Dad still had a majority of his customers around the Tillsonburg area. Because, he was in the business before, so he kept his customer list for the commercial industrial part. So, yeah, then fast forward, I think, so that would have been like 08, 09, and then into, what would it be? I think 2012, 2013, Dad had an opportunity to come back to what would have been his competition, T.A. Thompson Electrical, as they had an electrical business in the 60s as well, and 70s and 80s into, they were my grandparents and my uncles and Dad's competition. But we had an opportunity to come back. They treated us right. We came back, we started an HVAC division there, trying to stick with commercial industrial. We did a little bit more residential when we came back to TA. Just, it was just something to do, keep us busy. We got it, so Dad did service, I did all installs. I got an apprentice to help with installs. I went through a couple apprentices and ended up with the one that we still have today. No longer an apprentice now, but he's still here. So anyway, so that rolled us from 2012, and then in 2019 is when we started Tier Systems Mechanical Contractors. Basically to tie in the old Tier Systems or the old family business. It's a new business in technicality. Just same name. It's me and my dad. No, mind you, I was working for my dad when I was in public school, high school, and all that sorts of stuff. So, I'd known most of the customers. I had been raised up through my apprenticeship, knew a majority of the customers at that time. And in 2019, I would say 10% of the customers would have been mine, 90% being my dad's old customers and whatever. And then back in 2019, we started, it was basically me, Dad, and our apprentice. He has now since been licensed. He's been licensed for 4 years, I think now. We've been in business for 5.5. So it was shortly after we started, he got licensed. And we've grown this business from the three of us to now having, I think there's 9 including me, and 10 if you include the wife, and 11 if you include a part-time. My neighbors come in and helped us part-time as a trucker. My brother comes in sometimes as a trucker and does some scrap with us. So yeah, that's kind of the backstory we got there. It just keeping this thing rolling, just trying something different, and everything's been pretty good. So I hope this YouTube continues to grow. We'll see what happens here. Thanks for watching. I just rolled in here now, but thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed a little bit of a back history of Tier Systems Mechanical Contractors and me, myself, and hope you guys enjoyed. All right, catch you on the next one.